Hey, what's up everybody? BDF 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so phone is telling me I only have 21 minutes and I just cleared up so much space it ain't even funny. So I don't know why it's doing that. But nevertheless, I'll do my best to make this a nice video. So the last therapy session I made, I was talking about the IDF and how they had killed the folks from the Central World Kitchen. It consists of many people from many different countries, including a Canadian native that was a U.S. citizen, some people from, a lady from Australia, a lot of different people, man. And, my thinking was that looked a bit on the let's do this to make ourselves look bad front. And I just have always thought that there are people inside of the IDF who are secretly wanting this to end. And I think this might have been another one of those. I do think that. Because at the end of the day, Israel killed its own ally by doing this. Central World Kitchen is one of their very own. That's their people. And while they have been known to kill their own people in the name of this holy war, not in a way where they would make it so that they put pressure on their own to have to come out and answer for it. And that is exactly what this action did. Now it could have been deliberate. It could have been necessary evil for them in their minds because you want to deter anybody and everybody from helping the people you're trying to kill, trying to destroy, trying to maim and all of that. I unfortunately see where that could be the case. But at the same time, it would be a lot less of a headache for Netanyahu and all his generals if they don't have to come out and explain to their own why they murdered some of their own when it wasn't necessary to do so. Just to send a message to humanitarians not to help people of Gaza. That seems like an unnecessary headache from most angles. A very unnecessary headache. And I'll tell you something else. They could have very easily avoided that and sent the same message. And this is going to sound messed up, but if they would have put different people in those cars that said World Kitchen and blew up the World Kitchen cars without actually killing the people that they were intending to kill, it would have had the same damn effect. But not what they did. What they did was they killed the people who actually worked for the Central World Kitchen, and that shined a negative light on them that is undeniably visible to those who want to support them, who want to back them up, who want to say free the hostages before asking about saving Palestinians. Those are the people that they've offended by doing this in some cases. And it's like, at what point in time does business take over from what it is that they're ultimately trying to do from a posturing military standpoint? It's the same question you ask in any situation, when you got a imperialist government that wants to save face, a UK or a USA. Why aren't we going around bombing any and everything we want to? Because it looks bad, fam. You're gonna do that stuff when nobody's looking, in places no one's looking at. And you're gonna have something else going on that people can say, ooh, look how good you're doing, look how wonderful you are, so that you can keep in business, so that people will want to keep shaking your hand, so that people will want to, look at you and say, this is a good person to get in cahoots with, right? Like that's the world. That's world 101 as it pertains to being politically correct and showing yourself to be someone that people can make money with and don't have to get away from in order to make money. Israel doing this put a drop in the bucket of let's get away from them to make money for all of the money people. All of the money people. People who could care less about body dropping, but more so care about coins in the bank. That's who they made life difficult on in regards to supporting them. And to me, that's a hell of a sacrifice just to send a message that you don't want people to support people you're trying to hurt. I think we already got that part. I think the world can clearly see that it offends you for anyone to come to the support of Palestinians. That's obvious. You don't have to kill Central World Kitchen people. They didn't, first of all, Central World Kitchen wasn't doing enough feeding to make a dent in what it is you're trying to do in regards to starving Palestinians. They weren't feeding that many Palestinians and wouldn't have because they're your friend. You see what I'm saying? They wasn't there to feed Palestinians. They're there to look good. They're your friend. But I guess you wanted to deter the behavior so that others won't try to come and feed these people and make them feel like they can survive the starvation that you're trying to put them through. Now see how messed up this is? I don't think it gets more messed up than this. These are in fact some of the worst people that ever walked the earth. But this is the earth they're walking on. And one of the things that makes it spin is the economics and the politically correctness of being somebody that people don't have to run from to make money. And so that's why I'm looking at that. I'm saying, do they just want to be seen as barbarians? And if that's the case, they do understand that there are going to be people who are going to make them answer for that tomorrow in their own regime. Because when you're done wiping out the Palestinians and you're done doing all this evil biblical stuff y'all trying to do, it's still going to need to be a dollar made. And it's going to be a bunch of people who ain't going to want to make money with you because it's going to look bad to do so. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like they gonna put you through something for this. Like for betraying what makes the world go round, there will be individuals who will want you to answer for that in the future. It just is what it is. It's a certain sacred nature of we need to not be people run away from in order for us to continue to be able to function in the world around us, let alone control it. And they betrayed that. And I think that that's a regime decision. I don't think that that would be an overall Israeli decision. I don't think so. I think that's the people in power right now and their negligence. I really believe that. There's a lot of people who point out all of the boycotts that are taking place. Those boycotts, excuse me, those boycotts are working. They are working in a sense that now people have to look at those boycotts as a red mark on the willingness or the responsible nature of being willing to do business with someone who has this type of reputation. That was not a reputation they had before. There was no bad reputation there. There's powerful people, kept their mouth shut, and they had their hands in everything, and it was taboo to mention anything that had anything to do with negativity with them because they had never committed genocide before. They had never done anything like this before. Yeah, they were doing this to the Palestinians, but nobody knew about it because they were able to do it in the dark. You see what I'm saying? Yes, they've been doing this for 75 years, but 90% of the earth didn't know it. They weren't bad for business. Right now, terrible for business. Terrible for business. Their flag looks like a swastika to everybody. Their leader looks like Hitler to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a whole nother environment from which to try to do business universally. Even if you're in a position of power, people are still looking at you and saying, yo, you're terrible for business, man. You're terrible for business. Even if I don't give a damn, even if I hate the people you're killing, I got people who are looking at me saying I'm a bad guy for shaking your hand that I don't want looking at me saying I'm a bad guy because I want their money. You see what I'm saying? So it's like that's the game that they're betraying when they're doing it this way. And because that's the game they're betraying, it's going to have effects upon them that they probably would be best not to have. very, very best not to have. But you're letting people like Netanyahu, and who's in control of who's in control of what's going on in this operation, betray the economics for your country long term. Completely. And it's like they don't seem to care about that. And I think that for their country is it's a fatal blow. It really is. It's going to be a fatal blow. Because what they're going to end up finding out is that what they build their businessmen and people who are used to being able to move about the earth comfortably are going to be shown for going to those places that they build. You see what I'm saying? Excuse me. Still sick, as you guys know. But it's one of those things where it's like, okay, now I can't go to what the new Gaza is going to be if I'm celebrity A, because everybody knows what you did. And I'm at the behest of everybody if I want to continue to be celebrated for my celebrity, if I want to be celebrated for whatever it is I'm selling. I can't go to what Israel built, because Israel's now the guys that did this. And it's probably not safe to go there now, because you don't know when it's going to be striked, based on how they built it, and everybody who saw it and how passionate people were about it. Even if I want to play dystopia in 2024, in 2027, if this doesn't blow over, I look bad for even going there. When you build that thing, I look terrible for going there. Why? Because everything you did was on camera. So it's going to be very easy for people to access the footage of what it is you've done. See, in 2024, not everyone has seen the footage of what's been going on for the last 180 days. Over the next 30 years, everyone's going to see it. You see what I'm saying? So it's like it's a very short-term way that this regime in Israel is handling this. As if the world is only going to be spinning for 5 more minutes and they know it or something like that. That would be the only viable reason for doing things the way they're doing it. It's like they're in a very deep denial about the desire that people are going to have to be anywhere near them after they did this. Deep denial. Or they believe that they have a plan for that. Which, to be honest with you, judge about how they're handling this, I don't think they do. And if they do have a plan, it ain't going to be very good. If it has anything to do with them coming up with the propaganda that's supposed to warp the minds of people, or them posturing a certain way that's supposed to make us fearful of them, I don't think it's going to work. That's what I'll say. I don't think it has any chance of working. They're not good at the internet games. They're not. They're bad at making movies. Every time they, that type of thing, anything they've staged that they try to make it look as if it was bombs bursting above them, it looked fake to everybody. Like, they're not good at it. You see what I'm saying? So them being in denial about how bad they are at confusing the world right now, betrays any idea, or any thought that what they're doing could actually work. In regards to making people see them as anything other than tyrants of the world. So it's like, for me, it's going to take more than just a PR team to fix this. They're going to have to sacrifice everybody who's in control of this thing right now. We're going to have to see them face capital punishment and death. If they want to save face, Israel's going to have to essentially say, we condemn ourselves and we offer to the world all of whom did this to you, to the Israeli people, to the Palestinian people. And we would have to see unprecedented stuff in regards to the punishments necessary to make people say, okay, Israel's turning a corner. And I have no doubt they have no interest in doing that. They barely want to offer an apology for something that they clearly did deliberately. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, no, they're not gonna give you Netanyahu's head on a platter. They're not gonna offer up the people who are in control of this. They're not gonna do that. But if they want to undo the damage that they've done, that's probably what's going to be a start there. So it's just a lot that makes you understand, yo, people are moonwalking away from Israel when they feel it's safe to do so. They don't care a thing about Palestinians themselves. They just care about public opinion and their image and what looks like it's bad for business and what's going to affect their bottom line. That is how it goes. We understand that. Nobody's confused by that. Nobody should be surprised by that. That should not move anybody. It just is what it is, what you should expect. And I just look at all of it myself with the opinion of it's godlessness. It's the same white supremacy that my people dealt with and that the natives dealt with. You know, there's no difference. None. And as bad as what the Palestinians are going through, they've done worse. They just have. As horrible as we don't want to say that, we don't want to think that, but this isn't new for these people. That's what they do. And that's why we know how to more or less view it. We know how to view it. Colonization, racism, supremacy, you know, dysphobia. All of it's new. It's not new. They've been doing this for as long as doing it could have been. That's literally the truth. And so, as I move forward as somebody who tries to look at this in this conversation from a standpoint that is removing my humanity from it so that I could bring y'all what it is I believe is there, the rest of the world, if they really want to stop white supremacy, is going to have to wage actual war against it. And you're going to have to win. You know what I mean? That's what it is. Or they're going to do this somewhere else another day. That's just what they do, man. European settlers and where they've found themselves settling in. This is how they move. They kill, maim, display, and certain level of hate and evil that they feel will keep people fearing them. You know, and that's what it is. They want to instill fear and hopelessness and a certain level of power over the hearts, minds, and souls of the rebellion. And those who would be careless and even kamikaze in stopping them. They want to stop you. Those who care less about themselves but would throw themselves and everything they have at them. That's what they're trying to display, a certain energy that will deter them. That's what it's about. It ain't just about being the evilest of the evil and that's it. It holds a purpose. And that purpose is protection over itself. If I'm the worst guy in the world, I won't be hit from every angle because people will be afraid of me. And I will be safe to do what I want to do. That's how white supremacy operates. You know? And then they get to be diplomatic, dignified, or whatever the word would be, sophisticated. They get to tell the world what evil is and find it is whatever's coming against them. Look at people who are not contributors, as we said in the last video, and call them useless, and they continue to live lavish lives, going wherever they want to go, chasing the best weather in the world. That's really what it's about. And settling there and making millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, billions, trillions more so. But you get the point, wealth. And then spreading it out all over the world. And then spreading it out to other worlds. And once they find a way to do that, that's exactly what they're going to do. Settle, spread, expand. It's a necessary evil to colonize, to take the land from others, and deter and instill fear in the rebellion, so that you can always be there safely without having to look over your shoulder, and while doing things that would otherwise make it so that you constantly have to look over your shoulder. Annihilate entire people. Anybody would otherwise come back at you, kill them, kill their kids, kill the kids of their kids, so that you don't have to worry about being bombed 50 years from now for what you did today. That's why they do it. That's why they're killing all the kids. So it's like, man, that's what you're going against. That's what Israel's really about. That's what they're doing. Same thing their forefathers did, man. Take, maim, destroy, and display a certain level of chaotic mind, so that in the process of doing whatever it is they want to do, people will fear them. That's it. BDF 44. Thank you for watching.